Hello TechCheck class, my name is Rootul Patel, and today I will be giving you guys some more information on Equinix, a data center company. I'm going to start off by giving you guys a brief overview of what I will be discussing today. First off, we'll take a look at the history of Equinix. Then we'll learn some key terms and phrases that are common in the network provider industry. Next, we'll learn about Equinix's core business unit, the Internet Business Exchange. Then we'll take a brief look at latency and the practical implications of network delays. After that, we'll take a look at Equinix's recent push to restructure as a REIT. And finally, we'll learn some of Equinix's key executives and decision makers. So let's dive right in. History. Equinix was founded in 1998 by Al Avery and Jay Adelson. The founders noticed the rapid growth of the internet at the time and believed existing data centers wouldn't be able to cope with demand. They began developing data centers on a much larger scale to support this growth, and the company became successful almost overnight. Less than 2 years after formation, Equinix went public with a $270 million IPO. This event occurred at the height of the dot-com bubble, when companies were ambitiously investing in the telecom and data center industries. Equinix survived the bubble's collapse by acquiring suffering data centers that were largely undervalued. Equinix began seeing even more growth, and between 2003 and 2004, Equinix was the best performing stock on the Nasdaq Stock Exchange. In 2007, Equinix implemented a $2 billion global expansion plan. Since then, Equinix has acquired several internet exchange companies in Europe, Asia, North and South America. Key terms. Now I'm going to go over a few of the key terms. First off, I'll talk about co-location facilities. Co-location facilities, or colos, are physical spaces in which gear from multiple firms can come together and where the peering of internet traffic can take place. These facilities act as storage places where a firm's servers can get access to a variety of telecommunications and internet service providers. Co-location facilities also take care of power, cooling, and security for the networking equipment. Facilities are often able to withstand severe weather catastrophes such as earthquakes and power outages. Data centers will often have several layers of security, including a few man-traps. Man-traps are essentially small rooms used to separate key areas of the data center to either verify an employee's credentials or to trap and stop intruders. So I just mentioned that colos are sites where peering takes place. Peering is just the voluntary interconnection of separate internet networks for mutually beneficial traffic exchange. Peering can provide reduced costs and increase redundancy, capacity, and performance. Redundancy is extremely important in networking because companies want you to be able to access their information or services, even if one server in the network goes down. Lastly, I'll talk about network effects. Network effects, as most of you know by now, network effects are when the value of a product or service increases as the number of users grow. Basically what that means is more users equals more value. Internet business exchanges. Equinix's business model is built upon peering and network effects in co-locations. Co-location facilities that offer peering are often referred to as Internet Business Exchanges, or IBXs. Chairman Peter Van Camp describes Equinix Internet Exchanges as international airports where passengers from many different airlines make connections to get to their final destinations. Equinix IBXs peer IP traffic to over 90% of the world's internet routes, and there's a reason that they've been able to capture so much of the market. Not only are Equinix's data centers extremely reliable, claiming a 99.99% uptime, they are also carrier neutral, thereby meaning traffic from customers of Verizon and AT&T can be relayed. In addition, Equinix leverages network effects because, due to the nature of peering, it is extremely valuable to be present in a popular co-location facility, as this gives you access to peer with several other firms. Equinix currently has over 4,500 customers worldwide. On the other hand, comparable data center companies have no more than 1,000 customers. Latency. Latency is the time delay needed for information to travel across the network. Low latency leads to faster results for end users, so companies are highly interested in optimizing this attribute. There are several ways to reduce latency, but one key way Equinix is able to do so is their sheer physical presence. Equinix has 101 data centers located in 15 countries. This is important because if a user is looking for information that can be fetched from a colocation within their city, latency will be far lower than if network requests needed to be made all the way to another city. Latency is a major component to financial clients who exercise flash trading. Flash trading uses high-speed computer technology to allow traders to view orders from other market participants fractions of a second before others in the marketplace. In order to act on this advantage, flash traders need to run on low-latency networks, where they can buy and sell on a dime. In northern New Jersey alone, the location of many of the servers where Wall Street trading takes place, Equinix hosts some 18 exchanges and trading platforms. Silicon Valley. Equinix has 7 data centers in Silicon Valley that serve over 90% of the valley's internet traffic. These 7 data centers serve over 520 customers and give them access to over 140 different network service providers. In total, these 7 buildings occupy 448,000 square feet of prime real estate. The number and size of Equinix's data centers have led their management team to pursue a radical restructuring of the company. Equinix is currently in the process of converting into a real estate investment trust, or REIT. REITs are securities that trade similar to stock on major exchanges, but the companies invest heavily in real estate. They receive special tax considerations and typically offer investors higher yields in the form of dividends. In fact, REITs are required to return 90% of taxable income to equity holders. Equinix is converting to a REIT because over 70% of their revenue comes from renting out space in their co-location centers. They are, in fact, a real estate company, and the tax benefits from being officially recognized as a REIT will help them return more money to investors. According to some estimates, Equinix could save over $312 million in taxes in 2015 and 2016. Recently, Peter Van Camp said, "We are committed to creating long-term shareholder value. The REIT structure supports this objective and positions us to achieve profitable strategic growth domestically and internationally. We believe the conversion process and the REIT structure itself will have virtually no impact on the delivery of services to our customers or the performance of our global platform of high-performance data centers." Equinix is not the only data center company to consider restructuring to a REIT. In fact, Digital Realty and DuPont Fabros Technology are both competing data center companies that have already converted to REITs. People. So here are some key faces to know at Equinix. In the top left, we have Stephen M. Smith. Stephen is the current CEO and president. Prior to joining Equinix, he served as a senior vice president at Hewlett-Packard. Before that, he served 8 years in the Army after graduating from the U.S. Military Academy at West Point. To the right of Stephen, we have Peter Van Camp. Peter is the executive chairman of Equinix, and the 2 quotes I used in this presentation are both from him. He's largely seen as the public face of Equinix and currently handles investor relations. Prior to becoming the executive chairman, Peter served as Equinix's CEO from 2000 to 2006. Before he joined Equinix, Peter served as president of Internet Markets at MCI WorldCom. Just a fun fact, MCI WorldCom was once the second largest long-distance telephone company after AT&T, but it was eventually acquired by Verizon. Anyway, Peter is also a BC alum, and at Boston College, he studied accounting and computer science. Below Peter, we have Catherine Arnell. Catherine is the VP of Tax and Treasury at Equinix. She is playing a major role in Equinix's ongoing shift to become a REIT. Prior to joining Equinix, Catherine served as the Vice President of Finance at Yahoo. Catherine also has a BS in Accounting and Economics from Boston College, and she also has a JD in Tax Law from the University of California, Hastings College of Law. To the left of Catherine, we have Brian Lilly. Brian is Equinix's Chief Information Officer, and he is the person we will most likely be meeting with during our field study. Although the Chief Information Officer title is less common, it's usually given to people who lead enterprise software goals. Brian is specifically working to improve internal efficiencies such as Salesforce automation, enterprise resource planning, and business analytics. Prior to joining Equinix, he led global sales operations for VeriSign, and before that, he served 8 years in the U.S. Air Force on various classified IT projects. Everyone should follow him on Twitter at @CoachLilly. That wraps up my presentation. I just wanted to mention that Equinix has a fairly well-maintained YouTube channel with videos on specific portions of their company, as well as a few data center tours. If you have some extra time, it might be worth checking out. I'll also post a link to their channel on the wiki. Lastly, if you have any questions, please feel free to email me or post them to the wiki as well. I'd be happy to do research on anything you guys are specifically interested in. All right, everyone, stay safe during the storm and enjoy the snow day, and I hope to see everyone back in class next Tuesday.